Hello, welcome to another one of these battle reports of Black Seas. I'm here again, I'm Evan, and Josh is with me. Hello, Josh.
Hello.
We are playing another game. This is a scenario that I've kind of made up, but it's not overly ingenious. Basically, I call this the Battle of the B Fleets. We've got ourselves two very cowardly, inexperienced maybe, captains are like 3 weeks away from retirement fleets, who happen to bump into each other in the middle of the ocean. They don't want to fight, but they also don't want to be called a coward when they go back home. So what they've got to do is they've got to make a good show of it. They've got to be like, oh yeah, we fought a little bit before they run away. Okay? That's what both fleets are trying to do. So that's the idea. Basically, fundamentally, they're trying to get criticals on each other. Once they get a critical, they can get out of there. I'll explain how the points work in a sec. But what I might do is I might jump down, show you what the ships look like. I might tell you they've actually got names. They're painted in similar colour schemes to real ships. But I'll show you that, show you the fleets, and we'll get started. Like I said, in this game, both fleets are identical. A bit weird for the scenario, but that's okay. But I thought I'd show you them anyway, because, you know, might as well show off the paint jobs, put some time into it, so might as well show it off. This is the British fleet. They're all flagged up for the British Navy properly, and they're all painted for ships of the First Fleet or other significant ships in Australian history, for good and for ill. So, but colour scheme, not so much the actual design of the ship. Anyway, we've got ourselves, I'm pretty sure, on the front, the Golden Grove. It is a brig, as is the supply. So the Golden Grove and the supply, both brigs, both got two heavy cannon, small ships, light nimble, little go-karts going around taking pot shots. And at the back, not to scale, but with the paint scheme, we have the HMS Sirius, which was the flagship in the First Fleet. So there we have the Sirius. So that is the two brigs and the frigate for the British side. And for the French, now obviously the ships of the First Fleet weren't French, but oh well, got the colour scheme, they got the flags for the game to work. Again, two brigs and a frigate. We got ourselves, I believe, the Prince of Wales, which is a great name for a French ship. So we've got the Prince of Wales. Back here we have the Charlotte. That's a bit better. The Charlotte, the red Charlotte. And lastly, this ship, not part of the First Fleet, and certainly not to the right scale. The colour scheme is based off of the Endeavour. So I like to call it the Le Endeavour or something like that. But once again, two brigs and a frigate. So they're our two fleets that will be going head to head, one to the other. All right, let's get into it. So as I said, these are two cowardly fleets. They're just trying to make a good show of a fight. They want to get in and get out of there. The way that we do that in the game is they're going to be, as they sail around the board, they're trying to get a critical hit on an opponent. If they are able to get a critical hit on an opponent, they will be receiving 1 point if they survive the whole battle. If they get a critical hit on their opponent and get off the board, they will receive 2 points. Okay, so 2 points if you get a critical hit and get out of there. So a maximum 6 points available if you can pull off that feat. The game keeps going to one fleet gets all their ships off the board, or all surviving ships off the board. The game will also end if one of the ships sinks. If one of the ships sinks, got too real, they all panic. The ship that did the sinking will receive 3 points when the game will end. If a ship just strikes and they're floating in the middle of the water, they will receive no points. They just sort of sit there floating in the way. One last thing, and I've run this by Josh to do this. I've never done it before. We're going to follow the code of conduct, code of battle. I can't even remember what it was. The rules of engagement. That's it. Rules of engagement. That's one last little fly in the ointment for these ships. Basically, the idea is we've got two frigates, and these two frigates, because they're bigger ships and they wouldn't be caught dead scrapping with these little ones, they will not engage, or they shouldn't engage the smaller ships. Okay, they're meant to engage each other, the bigger ones. So we're going to say that these bigger frigate ships are not allowed to target and fire upon the smaller brigs, unless a smaller brig takes a pot shot at the bigger one. If the brigs engage with the frigate has then absolute right and ability to open up on the smaller brigs. They're allowed to do that. but only on that fleet. So say if the French brigs fire on the British frigate, it can fire on them, but the French frigate cannot fire on these brigs yet. Okay? So we're going to do the rules of engagement. So it should make this game a little bit more interesting. But anyway, we're going to set up our boards. We're starting about a hand span from each side. Josh, you chose to be the French, which is these guys, and I'm going to be the British. And yeah, let's set up and get started. Okay, so we ran through 2 rounds, because the first round we're just jockeying for position. The wind hasn't moved, and that's surprising, well not surprising, but we've also fiddled with the wind chart so that it's more likely to cause the wind to move. The only ship that fired was the Sirius. It managed to line up on the L'Endeavour and take a shot and took 2 points off of him. But remember, that's all well and good, but we want to see criticals in order to get points. Meanwhile, where the real excitement is over here, isn't it, Josh? So what's going on here, Josh?
So I kind of positioned my bigger ship right in front of Evan's brig just to see what would happen.
Yeah, because like Black Seas discourages ramming other ships, but it doesn't have anything against doggy guarding or shepherding other pieces. So
and since Evan moves first, he will be the one that hits me, not me hitting him. So
yeah, so this could all go very badly very quickly. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's move back to our time lapse. Let's see if the wind moves. Josh is going to spring his trap. So this ship's going to go careening into the Endeavour ship. And we're going to say that doesn't break the rules of engagement because, that's not me attacking it, really. But what we're going to do is we're both going to take a dice each, D6. We're going to roll. If it is 4, 5, 6, either of us have a 4, 5, or 6, the men become so afraid of crashing they break the laws of physics and we're able to phase through each other. It's very gamey, but that's the rules in the book. They don't really want people colliding. But if we both fail this, I'm going to take a whole bunch of damage, which is kind of what Josh is hoping for, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, let's roll our dice. Let's see what happens. Thank goodness. Oh so I just spaced through the ship. I don't, because it is, I would sink level damage, or strike probably more. So I'm at battle sail, so I'll move twice. So what I'll do, because my first turn would be inside you, which I don't think, I could probably make use of somehow, but I won't. I'll just sort of basically phase straight through all the way to 10, over to here. And I will turn. It was, to be fair, when we played last time and I did the crash into thing, we crashed into each other, that was because we both were unlucky.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because you got a critical hit just before that.
Yeah. Right, but now I can line up on you, Miss Charlotte, and I can take a shot. So I might as well do that on camera while it's happening. 2 cannons, within 10, but not within 3. Not within 3, which means 4s and down. I'll hit, but I'm going for a critical. That's what I want. No, both miss. They both miss. Oh well. But nonetheless, thankfully, it just wasn't a bloodbath. It was with regards to crashing into each other. Alright, let's go back to the time lapse.
So we went from no one shooting to everybody shooting. So where are we going to start? Essentially, all the brigs got stuck in around the sandbars, taking pot shots at each other. There was a successful critical on the supply, so the supply is kind of making a beeline out of here. The Charlotte's firing back to try and get a critical again. And what's the other objective of the Charlotte as well, Josh? For trying to stop him from getting away, basically.
Yeah, to sink him before he leaves, basically.
That's it. But the other big decision that was made, like ultimately, this is not the big decision here, but I've slowed the Sirius right down. But the real big decision was over here with Endeavour. Josh was kind of like, do I go cut in between the island and the sandbar, or do I go around? And in the end,
I decided to go round so that I could have a shot at Evans.
yeah, because ultimately, because of the rules of engagement, which I keep forgetting about, it means that these guys have to position themselves. No one's broken the rules yet, so these guys have to position themselves in a way that makes it work. As Josh goes around the island, just a reminder, Josh can shoot over the island. I can shoot over the island too, just at a reduction of cost, a reduction of accuracy. So yeah, that's that round. A lot more pew pew pew, which is what we want. Okay, on to the next one. There you go. I've just gone careening into a sandbar. I thought I'd just make it. No, I didn't just make it. So I'm going to roll a dice. They're going to do a skill check, and this could all go very badly for me. Yes, skill check. Again, they're desperate not to crash, so it's 4, 5, and 6, and they'll succeed. All right, here we go. They succeed. Okay. Now, that was the end of his last turn, so he's just going to turn angle out of there. Oh, that was close. Yeah, I have to at least do that to get off the sandbar. But now I can't really shoot anyone. I could turn all the way back maybe and get old mate here. What do you reckon, Josh?
What, you're allowed to shoot me after you run aground?
Check the rules if you like. I might be able to. One sec.
You should be bailing out, not manning the cannons.
Okay, so I could be reading it wrong, but currently I'm reading it in the way that agrees with you. They've all kind of gone, and tried to avoid crashing. Even on a success, it is a quarter deck hit, technically. So they're not going to be able to shoot, and I think it's quarter deck hit if you actually crash into them. But no, I can't shoot.
That makes sense.
So I can't shoot. Fair enough. So he's just sitting there, happy as a clam. Not happy as a clam. Would like to have shot you. But anyway, all right, let's keep going. Okay, so it's still going on. I think the shots are happening everywhere. Josh has had the absolute worst luck on all of his rolls. He fired the most out of all the ships in this round. Didn't get it hit.
Not one hit.
Not one hit, and I just feel the worst, I must admit. But the real masterstroke is old mate here. Josh, what's Charlotte doing for you?
So he has luckily been right between the other ship and anywhere that wants to shoot him. So he's just completely blocking all shots due to the rules of engagement.
And like a lot of Warlord games, if there is another target between one ship and another, they have to target that one. They've got no choice. So because I can't shoot him yet, I can't get past him. So yeah, bit of a pain, but anyway. But we'll roll for the wind. The wind did move on our chart, but let's see what happens now. Well, I'll just say the wind changes, Josh. No, it does not. No, it does not. I'm a little bit salty and Josh is jubilant. We had a whole big discussion about what would happen if this guy gets a critical. I think we both assumed he wouldn't get a critical. But what happens? You get a 2 and a 1. So both get the hits. That means my frigate takes down to 4. It takes down to 1, 2, 3, 4. Down you go, buddy. And if you want to roll a d6, he's also going to do some sort of critical damage. 5, which was the extra damage. So roll a d3. 1. So it's a big hit. But more importantly, he now has a treasure thing. So all he has to do now is get off, and that's 2 points to the frigate. Now, just to clarify, part of the discussion that we had, thinking that this wouldn't happen, was what would happen if the frigate now leaves the board, which Josh can do if he wishes. He might not want to. If that's the case, again, rules of engagement, and the scenario is these are like the crews are B fleets. They're old captains. They're going to stick to the rules. So this guy, he is going to be stuck on the board with no one to shoot unless another brig engages with him. He's just going to be a sitting duck. Okay, that's the rule we agreed on before it happened, so we'll stick to it. We're men of our word. He's going to, unless Josh wants to stay on there and let me shoot at him, he can try and now get off the board quickly.
I'm probably not going to do that.
No, probably not. All right, let's keep going. He's about to become a sitting duck in this whole scenario. What I'm going to try and do, though, in order to get something out of this situation, is move old mate up into here and try and shoot through to get there. So he's going to go up to light sail, because he's at anchor at the moment. So we've got one chance of this. One chance at actually hitting him. I don't like the odds, but never mind. Alright, here we go. Here. Bang, and then I think I should be able to angle this to get you at least one last chance to try and get a critical on you. One last chance. Maybe slightly. Like this. That'll be way harder than I thought it did. There we go. Oh, please be within 22. It actually might not be.
I'd say that's within.
Josh is being kind. I think he's just being kind. Alright, so 2 long guns. That's all I got. And I've got to get it on 2 and more point. I've got to get a 1. I've got to get a 1, really. That's what I need to get. Otherwise, this ship's going to be useless. Alright, here we go. And. Nope. Oh my gosh. 2 9s. So there we go. They go sailing past. The L'Endeavour is going off chuckling, going, yeah, whatever.
See you later.
See you later, buddy. So never mind. So now, his fate is pretty poorly. Let's just say that. Okay, so what's happened is at the end of the round, and I've taken the Golden Grove off the board, and Josh is sitting there going, why did you do that?
I think I know why now.
Why, Josh, why would I do that?
Because you know I'm going to go off the board next time, and then if you come back before me, you'll get to shoot before me?
Maybe. In all honesty, I want to see what you do now, because your only target now is the frigate.
Ah.
So let's see what happens next round. Next round might be either like nothing happens, or you'll break the rules of engagement, giving me the opportunity to maybe do something.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Smart.
We'll find out. You might hold your nerve better than I would. But that's that go. Yeah. So he's not coming back until the end of next turn.
Yeah.
There's literally only 3 ships on there at the moment. Cool. Let's see what happens. Well, my cunning ruse didn't work. Josh has got too much of a cooler head. He's brought the Charlotte off of the board, so he'll come back later. And I came back on at the end of that turn, but I couldn't. I think you meant to come back on, but you just sit on the edge. Actually, now I think about it. Would you like me to sit the boat on the edge, or is it okay there?
Either way.
Okay, we'll just leave them there. But yes, in the end, Josh didn't take the bait. The frigate's still standing. All right, we'll get back to it. Josh got his critical, so this guy, he's stuck there at the moment because he's in the wind, but he just, all he had to do was turn a little bit, and he got his pot shot onto the Golden Grove. Josh, what is the critical damage? What is the damage?
6.
Oh no, we all know what that is.
Fire.
The ship's on fire. The ship's on fire, no! Oh my goodness. Okay, so the ship's on fire, one sec. Da, 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 da. Again, Josh, you're reliable. If you're going to get a critical, it's going to be fire involved. Oh, shit. But he also gets his little bit of treasure because he got a critical hit. So now, all the Charlotte has to do is get off the board. Also roll the D3, sorry, because that's going to add a little bit extra fire damage initially. There's initial fire damage. 3! Anyway, so there you go. The Pyromaniac strikes again. Oh, gee. Alright, so that's the end of that round. Josh has got himself 3 points. We've both got 2 ships off. This one's got a third. I don't think I can sink him, but he needs to get out of the wind, so maybe we can sink him. He can't shoot yet. Oh my gosh, I'm in a bad position. But that's how it is. Let's keep going. That old mate is still dead in the water. He can't do nothing. So he's just sitting there turning and spinning around. So he's next. He's going to put out the fire. But I also need to... Oh gee. Because I need a critical. The reality is Josh is ahead. And he can't do anything. I'm in a bad spot. I need something to change. So I can either go all out putting out this fire. I have to roll a... If I do that, if I roll a 3, 4, 5, 6, I'll be able to put it out. Or I can haphazardly put out the fire. I have to roll then a 4, 5, 6, and I put the fire out. If I don't put the fire out, I'll still be on fire, but I'll be able to take a shot at you and maybe get a critical, maybe. If I roll a 1, boom, it blows up. I know what the safe option is. But playing safe at the moment, I don't have that really as an option. Josh has got all of the options. I've only got one little ship. Darn it. I don't know. I honestly don't. Because, like, if he blows up, then that's the end of the game pretty much, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you can't get any more points.
No. Plus the ship will sink. You know
But
what I
if
mean?
you
But-
put the fire out, you could still attack next turn, right?
Yeah, exactly. But you're going to be trying to get out of here as quick as you can. Yeah, okay. I have to be sensible about these things. Darn it! I wanted the ship to blow up, but I have to be sensible. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, and it'll be out. Yeah, there we go. Just. So no damage taken. Puts the fire. Extra damage taken out. Puts the fire out. I think the idea is you continue on at your current settings, which is currently anchored. Cannot turn. He just sits there, and that's the end of his go. Josh, contentedly now, has the ability to do whatever he likes to me. So as Josh finishes his turn just then, it is looking very bad for the British fleet. I kind of wish I had, I don't know, blown up just then, to be honest. Sorry for the wobble, by the way. So, while the Charlotte's slowly making her way off the board, the Sirius is just swiveling on one spot, the Golden Hind gets hit from behind by the Prince of Wales. So Josh got behind, so he got the double hit. That little boat's now only got like 9 hit points. But more significantly, he got the critical. It is not looking good. Josh just needs to get him off by doing that. The wind's over here. As rules say, the Sirius cannot take any shots. I don't think I could. How many hit points does your Charlotte have? Charlotte's
13.
Charlotte's got 13. So there's not really any way I'm going to bring it down to striking. Tell you what, Josh, I think you have this.
It's looking
I
good.
think I need to do the chivalrous thing and say you've won. You've got this well and truly. So there you go. So Josh took it home. He managed to just absolutely hammer us at the end there. So Josh has got, if I call it now, he's got two critical hits on the board. So that's 1-2 points.
I got 3.
Plus, the Sirius offers another 2 on him.
Oh, yeah.
So you got a total of 4 points.
6 if they get off.
4 to my 2 points. Because I've got one ship off the deck. There you go, Josh. What was the winning strategy? What do you reckon got it for you?
Playing it safe.
Playing it safe. Oh, that's what we want. It turns out that maybe playing it safe for me wasn't a good idea. Because even if no, you would have won still, but you would have won by less. If I let my ship burn, and if it exploded, then it would have taken you with me. Basically, it ended the game.
Been able to get another critical hit.
No, yeah, it would have been 2 to 3. Having said that, yeah, you wouldn't have. If I hadn't blown up, I would have been able to have moved out of the way, and you might not have gotten your critical. If I was in the right spot where you couldn't hit me or something. So potentially I should. You won by playing it safe. I at that last turn when I was on fire, potentially should have just taken the risk.
Yeah.
But anyway, gee, you gotta love it. But anyway, that was a fun game. I quite enjoyed that. Did you enjoy that, Josh?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it was good. Well, I hope you enjoyed it too, and I hope you'll see us more later. Fare thee well.
Thanks to the shore, whatever it is, we never a penny of money. Charge it again, boy, charge it again.